Hello everybody, how are you? I hope that you are well. Thank you so much for joining me today for the last autumn vlog. So it's nearly winter, so that's kind of why it'd be the last autumn vlog. But also next month, December, I will be doing Vlogmas, so you'll be seeing a lot more of me, but in the form of Christmassy, festive vlogs, and a couple of podcasts. So I'm hopefully going to film a podcast as well this weekend, and that will be the last one before Vlogmas, because then I've got my kind of acquisitions basket cleared and I can just focus on opening my advents and sharing those with you. I'm not intending to do any more yarn shopping between now and Christmas, because obviously I've got two yarn advent calendars and one So Sweet Violet advent calendar which also has yarn in, and I have a bit of yarn that I'm getting for Christmas, so I don't think I need to be buying any more yarn. But I have got a few bits to share with you that I've bought this last week or so since I last podcast, and yeah. So I will film a podcast because I have a few whips and I actually have a finished object to share with you. Very exciting. But for now I'm going to do a little vlog, and I've got some sewing to do today, some bag orders that came through this past week, and I thought you might like to join me, so I will chat through some bits like when I'm pinning or cutting out, and then when I'm sewing I'll just speed them up so you can see what I get up to, but you don't get bored watching. So I hope that you enjoy this. Okay, right, I've done all of my cutting out now. So I've got some little piles here of each fabric, because the first few stages are done in a matching thread. So I've got everything I need for the Dainty Rose bags, and then everything I need for the two pink bags, and then everything I need for the blue bag for the first few steps. Then I get to a certain point where everything is done in a thread that matches the canvas, so then I can just sew everything in one go. So I'm going to get started now with the little Dainty Rose one with the cream thread. So I have pressed and top stitched both of the pockets, and then I have pressed and interfaced the outer bits, and I'm just about to stitch on the little Out of Last Stitches label. So I've attached the label with a little zigzag stitch, and that is all of the stages that I need to do in the cream thread until the very end when I will do the top stitching. So it's now time for me to change the thread and get up to the same point with the pink bags and the blue bag, and then I will catch back up with you when I am doing all of the bag assembly. But for now I am trying to decide whether or not to go and watch my husband play rugby, because it keeps raining. It's raining again. Hello everybody, back again. Now I have got to the stage where all of the outer bits are prepared and the pockets are prepared. So I've got my Dainty Rose two lots of the pink bag and then the blue bag are all at the same stage. So it's now time to switch the thread colour to the one that matches the canvas, and I'm going to start assembling the outer and inner bag bits. So I need to stitch the pockets to the lining fabric and do the side seams for the lining and then the side seams for the outer bit, and then it's a huge pinning mission to pin the bag base to the bag outer, and then the same for the lining, and then we stitch all the way around the edge and sandwich the drawstring channel between the outer and inner bit. Turn it inside out, top stitch, add the drawstring, add the keyring, and then we're all done. So, got my coffee, and I'm going to get the linings, get the pockets done, and then start doing all of the side seams. Let's change the thread and get ready to make some bags. Okay, so I've now assembled the inside of the bag. So we have got a sandwich of the two lining pieces, and then inside are the two pocket pieces. So we have one that's completely just like one really big pocket, and then at the back there are the different size pockets which are made with the lines of stitching. You can just about see that. So that's all sandwiched together and sewn at the side seams. So this is now going to be put to one side until I'm ready to attach the base. And now we're going to take the two outer pieces for the bag and sew those together at the side seams. And the really important bit here is to line up the join between the canvas and the floral fabric. I don't use a lot of pins when I'm making these bags, because for the most part I just rely on seam allowances and holding things neatly together, and it's a lot of square stitching, straight lines, so it doesn't need a huge amount of pinning if you're confident with that. Obviously you could do a lot of pinning, but it would take up a huge amount of time for making multiple bags. So I'm going to speed it up now and make the outside of the bag, and then I'll join you back together for some pinning and a little bit of the chat when we're making the bases. here we have one finished project bag. This is a Dainty Rose one, which is going in somebody's Christmas Eve cast on box. Christmas Eve cast on boxes are still available until the end of Sunday evening, because I need to get the yarn for the Christmas Eve cast on boxes dyed up and prepped and ready to send out in the Christmas Eve cast on boxes in time for Christmas Eve. How exciting is that? I'm so thrilled to think people are going to be using my yarn for their Christmas Eve cast on. How wonderful. Yes, so you can still get your hands on a Christmas Eve cast on box, including the bigger ones that come with a bag with the little special star keyring on, or you can get the mini version, which is just the yarn and some Christmassy treats. So yeah, pop over to my Etsy and have a look on there if you fancy a Christmas Eve cast on box. Yes, I will see you very soon. Bye.